He treated me like shit.
I would get off the phone with him and I would say, I don't know what it is.
He treated me like shit.
Say, I don't know what it is, but I love that man.
He used me a lot. And the only time he called was mostly out of obligation, because I've always been annoying to him. Like, he never loved me.
Say, I don't know what it is, but I love that man.
He treated me like shit. I want to recap to you guys about what's going on with me, my twin flame, whatever he is.
There is a magical experience about twin flames that you won't experience with anybody else.
He treated me like shit. I've always been annoying to him. Like, he never loved me. Even when he was alive, he only wanted me to help him to read him for other girls. Like, he'd give me fucking names of girls, and then he'd want me to know, to give him information on whether or not he could have an opportunity with them. He used me a lot. And the only time he called was mostly out of obligation.
I would die for you.
He treated me like shit.
And it's still hard to talk about. Because he never said it back. That's always the hard part.
When I told him I loved him when he was alive, he'd tell me he doesn't feel the same way.
But I knew inside he did. He was just really afraid. And that's not me being crazy. I know he did.
I knew deep down he didn't care about me. He didn't care about me. Like, he mostly called, you know, out of obligation. He didn't really want to. At least I never felt that he did.
We talked to each other for hours. It was like we suddenly knew each other from another life. It was like instant communication, instant connection. It was like a spark. And it wasn't just flirtatious, it was genuine.
He treated me like shit. It hurts so much knowing that we were best friends. Like, I can't even say that because he wasn't a best friend. He treated me like shit, but I looked at him as a best friend. He didn't look at me like a best friend, so the way he treated me was so different. Every time he called me, he'd say, "What's up, buddy?" And I go, "Okay, hey buddy, what's up?"
Because I felt in so many ways he was the only person in my entire life that actually understood me 110%.
He treated me like shit.
You fight a lot, possibly, or you argue, and this is normal when you meet your twin flame. Because we did argue too. Mostly it was me. Because after he died, he showed me.
Even when he died, he still told me he didn't love me.
And ever since then, that's how I knew that he was my twin flame, because he's been around since day one, since he passed away. Honey, he's your twin flame. And I said, what? And this was the first time anyone told me about that. And I said, what is that? Is that like a soulmate? What is that? And she said, soulmates are different. And she's right. I didn't know it. I didn't know anything about this stuff yet.
And it was like a hit it and quit it situation. And all I feel in myself is that he used me and manipulated me to get what he wanted out of me. Oh, she's a damsel in distress. She's a woman that's broken. I can use her for my advantage. I can look really good for her and then fuck her and then not give a shit about cheating on her. And
I have met my twin flame. We are united again. But he has departed and he's on the other side.
And so I always try to, you know, not hinder him with my feelings or how I felt, or because even when I told him I loved him when he was alive, he'd tell me he doesn't feel the same way. So I was just like, okay, he doesn't fucking love me. Enough said. And even when he died, I was still in love with him and he still told me he didn't love me. I was like, okay, enough said. He doesn't fucking love me.
Your twin flame you'll know when you meet them because it will be an undeniable certainty. You won't be able to doubt it no matter how hard you try.
He treated me like shit for most of the time we've ever known each other. He was really nice, like ish, but more of tolerating me only in hopes to get a reading from me. And then even when he died, he still only came to me for help and support, and whenever he wanted something, he'd come to me, but then when he didn't want anything, when I needed anything from him, he just fucking left.
It won't matter what they say, what they do. And it's not even a love of an infatuation. It's very different. It's almost like a law.
I still loved. He treated me like shit, even after everything, and it hurt. And after I pulled my hand away and I gave him back the ring and I just threw it on the floor, I said, I can't do this anymore. You just lied to me again.
Every single time he comes to me and visits, his voice is different. In the beginning, in the very beginning, he sounded like the human him. But once he embraced his godliness and ascending, because he's ascended very far now, his voice has changed.
But do I hope that he's going to love me? I gave up on that after the first initial realization that he cheated at all. And now knowing that he went on with this entire affair even right after he proposed, to me, in my mind, I feel that the only reason why he's trying to fix this with me is for himself, to make himself feel better. He treated me like shit. I was so serious when I said I don't want to talk about him anymore, and I don't. Because I don't want to give him any more acknowledgement in my life at all. He's hurt me more than I can comprehend at this point. And a lot of times I have these visions and I see them together and I don't fucking want to see it, and I'll be staging, and every time I stage I'm blocking him and her out. I don't want them in my home. I don't want them in my life. I'm done. But I decided I will still talk about me and my twin flame. And even though I can't now talk about the new experience as much as far as saying his name, I'm still going to talk about him as my twin flame. At this point, we're trying to mend our relationship. And a lot of you that are watching are probably going, what the fuck, why would you do that? He cheated on you right after you proposed. That's stupid. After we made love, that it was to me, he left. Because he got what he wanted. He doesn't want to admit it, but that's the truth. And even after my rape, he didn't give a shit. He fucking told me, when are you gonna get over it? He told me that on my bed in astral realm several times. And when this other guy came and he helped me, pretending to be Chad, and I know that it's like, oh my god, that's so fucked up, but this man loved me so much because he was trying to protect me from being alone. He became the husband that I needed. And I don't even know his name. And I fell in love with this man.
You meet God in human form.
When I told him I loved him when he was alive, he'd tell me he doesn't feel the same way. But at this point in time, I'm starting to feel like, I'm starting to believe that I'm just a tool. That's all I ever was to them. That's all I was to humanity. That's all I ever was to people. It's all I ever am. Why? Because that's all I ever was even to... He treated me like shit. He was a fucking tool. He sits there and says no, but I know now he needed me more than I ever needed him. I know the truth now.
one of the people would have to die in order for one to be absence of the ego and to be able to educate the other.
The problem is as we grow, we learn. And we can't grow without learning. And some learn really fucking slow. And he's one of them. I don't want to be that teacher anymore. And I realized I didn't need him, he needed me. And that's what I realized. I always had all the fucking answers. Every time when it came to an issue or a situation or complication, he always came to me for help. All the time. On different realms. All the fucking time. He always asked me for help. All the time. And then I realized I didn't need him. He needed me. You and I both know we were kidding ourselves. I said, you and I both know you never loved me. Even when I told him I loved him when he was alive, he'd tell me he doesn't feel the same way. And this whole time I thought he was teaching me love. No, it's me.
People always ask me when you can be over it. That's like asking when you can stop loving God. You can't.
I know that I could keep going with this channel, but I'm starting to think about stopping altogether at this point because I don't have anything good to say. Ascending, teaching this shit, why? It doesn't do anything. Life on Earth is fucking complicated enough. Why add spirituality to it? But then out of the blue, he proposes after I was raped and after I went through all these things last year. So I thought, okay, maybe he really loves me. But then right after he proposed and right after we made love, he just up and left. He treated me like shit. I'm not gonna shut down my channel. You can go eat shit.